the first card you have for your past is the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of contrast in this card, a lot of contrast. You were kind of, you're on top of a lot of things in your life. You're really on top of everything. I'm not saying everything was perfect, nothing ever is. And you didn't feel like that. It didn't seem like you're on top of things to you, but you actually were. I'm just seeing you were actually, you were in a good position, in a really good position. This is what was happening practically, outwardly. You were in a really good position practically, outside of things, maybe financially, maybe everything looked like everything was in place for you, ticking along properly, working properly. But inside of yourself, emotionally, you could have been feeling the opposite. If you look at this king, he has everything he needs. He's a master. He has coins everywhere. He has everything he needs. He's very on top of things. He's a king. He's very wealthy. He's got a castle behind him. And, he's on top of everything. He's on top of his life. He's on top of the world, really. But he has very heavy robes. He has vines growing all over him, weighing him down. I'm getting this sense of feeling as if you were kind of on a treadmill, keeping everything going, kind of plodding along, going along on this treadmill, feeling like, oh, I'm just so tired, I'm just so sick of this, I'm really bogged down in all of this, the weightiness, the weight of everything's really, I'm really feeling that weight of how you were feeling. And it was like you were desperately trying to keep going. And from the outside, it didn't look as if you were feeling this way. You weren't feeling really bogged down and upset and oppressed and kind of trapped. You might have even been laughing and joking with people around you. But this wasn't the way you were actually feeling inside of yourself. I'm also seeing you feeling a little bit disillusioned in love as well. I'm seeing that you're a very solid person. Now, of course, you like to have fun. You're an Aries, so you like to kind of have fun with people and do fun things. But when you decided to commit to something, once you decide, I am going to commit, this is the person for me, you do it. You commit 100% to that person. You really do it. It might take you some time to actually kind of decide to do that. Once you do it, that's it. You're very serious. So, yes, I'm seeing that, there was someone who you actually had a very strong connection with, and you kind of made up your mind about them, and it took you a lot to make up your mind. There was a lot of really, you were quite emotional about this. It was very stressful for you to kind of make that decision. But then you said, right, I'm going to make this decision about this person. And then something happened where they weren't like that at all. You were being very stable. You were being upfront with them about what you wanted and how things were going. They weren't. They're all over the place. Oh, maybe I want this. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm going to turn up. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'll see you. Maybe I'll talk to you. Maybe I won't. It was all this kind of crazy stuff. And you kind of thought, I've gotten over these great big steps to get myself to commit to someone. And then I do all of that, go jump over all these hurdles and get there. And this is how they act. So it's like then you're feeling kind of really tired of love. You're feeling really tired of everything that goes with it at this time. You just had enough of the whole thing at this time. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have, your past, is the King of Wands. So this king's about to break out. He's about to get up and go. And this is how you're feeling at this time. You're feeling a bit restricted. You're feeling a bit stuck. You really wanted to get up and go. I'm seeing this conflict going on in your mind around this, going around in circles in your mind. You're kind of, I want to stay doing this. I know I'm good at this, but then I want to go because I feel trapped. That kind of conflict I'm seeing. And yes, your mind was going around and round in circles because there's a lizard behind this king's head in this card. And it's going around and round in circles, and the king's kind of thinking, and his mind's going around in circles, if that makes sense. So, the lizard's kind of chasing its tail. It's not actually really going anywhere either. So it was like you wanted to break out, you wanted to leave this treadmill that you're on, but then you also didn't want to kind of abandon things either. And because then if you abandoned everything, then what would you have then? You're worried you'd end up with nothing. So I'm just getting this sense of feeling really separated, not just from love, not just from this love connection, but from a lot of other people as well around you. It was like everyone was speaking one language and you were speaking another language. Not literally, of course, but it was just like, I just keep on getting this disconnected feeling. So yes, you were going through a time where you really, really knew that you needed to change. You knew something had to change, but you're afraid of that. You're afraid of getting off that treadmill, because that treadmill was what had given you a certain amount of success. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your past is death. So yes, you could have been feeling this disconnection because, you were growing and you were changing spiritually, I'm seeing. Death can be about that. It can be about, going up to the heavens, changing spiritually. I'm not saying that this was necessarily anything religious. It might just have been a change that was going on inside of you. It might have been a spiritual change. It might have just been something like a philosophical change. You might have had a change of ideas about things. It might be something like that, a way of thinking. And, I'm seeing at this time you were following your intuition, you were following what your body and your emotions were kind of telling you to do, rather than your head. This was like a process, and you'd already started in this process. This really isn't an easy thing to go through, but when this process is finished, when it eventually is finished and you get to the other side of this, you're going to have a complete change of opinion, change of philosophy about things, a very crucial thing in your life, a very crucial kind of mindset. Now, okay, this sounds very harsh, but there are going to be some people who you're going to have to leave behind when you go on this process and you come to the end of it. Now, some people are going to understand what you're going through, and you're going to have to, you're going to be able to take those people with you. Some people you're going to have to just have a more superficial relationship with them. There are people who you're going to be able to talk to on a kind of a basic level, but if you go to anything deeper, if you talk to them about anything deeper, they're not going to understand. So you're not going to be able to have a deep relationship with some people. So you're going to have to let go of that. With a third group of people, you might have to actually literally leave them behind practically. So there might be some people who you speak to at this time, or you were speaking to at this time, who you're going to have to let go completely. That's what I'm seeing in this death card. So the first card you have, your present, is the Eight of Pentacles. So yes, again, if you look at this card, this is almost like a conveyor belt, like a factory, a treadmill. And yes, there's a treadmill on top of a conveyor belt kind of, or, there is a conveyor belt on a treadmill, I should say, kind of going around endlessly and never finishing, and kind of going around in the same place over and over again and never actually going. If you're walking on a treadmill, you're walking, but where are you going? You're not going anywhere. So the man in this card, if you look at him, he's churning out these coins. He's making the same coin over and over and over again, or he's making a coin and then he's making another one that's exactly the same, and then he's making another one that's exactly the same, and on and on and on. And a part of you still wants to do this. You still want to keep on this kind of treadmill, because again, it's given you a certain level of success. You know how to do this, you know how to churn out these coins, you know what to do, and it's safe, and you know that it's kind of a sure kind of recipe to something. You know what the result's going to be. But another part of you still wants to break out of this. You're still frustrated by this. You still think, I don't want to keep going on this boring treadmill. I want to get up and do something completely different. That's how you're feeling. So if this resonates, maybe take a step back from whatever you're doing for a while, reassess things. I'm not saying that you should totally give up. Actually, I don't think that you should. I think you should keep part of what you're doing on this treadmill, because obviously it's working. And I think you feel terrible if you lost all of that. And that's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of losing that. There is a way to kind of reassess what you're doing, reassess some small things, have a look at some things that feel really dull and repetitive to you, and look at how you can change some things while keeping other things. There is a way to do that. Just go through each thing, reassess each thing, and say to yourself, well, I like this part of it, but this part of it's a bit dull. I might change that up a bit, but I'll keep that bit. But then I might change the way I'm doing that. I might add some new things to it, but then I might take that away because I'm not happy with that section over there. So it's not a matter of, I think as Aries quite often, and I've said this in readings before, that quite often if you're an Aries, you can say to yourself, either I want this whole thing as it is, or I'm going to throw the whole thing away. You're kind of quite impulsive in that way. With this, you don't need to do that. That's why you're having this conflict. Will I stay on this or will I go somewhere else? You don't need to do that. You can just stay where you are, change some things gradually until you're happy with the result. Gradually you can kind of say, well, this is working, I'll keep that. Let's experiment with that bit, see if that works. If it doesn't, I can always change it again. That kind of thing. I hope that makes sense. So the next card you have, your present, is Justice. So I'm seeing someone around you at this time, talking to you at this time. They might be advising you at this time. They might be helping you to balance things out in your life, because the Justice card can be all about balance. And this is someone who you're actually, you've had some ups and downs with this person, I'm seeing, in your more distant past. You could have even stopped talking to each other for a while or something like that. This is actually a very special person to you. I'm seeing that, there have been times where, I'm actually seeing a few times where, you could have had some really big disagreements with this person and other people as well. Now, usually when you have a disagreement with someone as an Aries, it's like, that's it. Goodbye. I'm not going to speak to them ever again. It's that kind of thing. And you've done that quite a few with a lot of different people, I'm seeing. But with this person, you had a falling out with this person, or you had some ups and downs with this particular person. And when you did that, you might have even been not speaking to them for a while. And when you were going through that, you kind of knew that you would speak to them again in the future. You would get back together in the future. That's what you kind of knew. So you did get back together and you did speak to this person again, and you did have this person around you again. And they're a very special person. I'm seeing them helping you. I'm seeing them talking to you. And I think this person, yes, again, I think this person was in your last reading. But yeah, this is a very special person. Now hold on to this person, because I'm seeing that you can be quite hot-headed, as you know. Nobody's perfect. They might say something again that kind of bothers you, or something might happen. Don't lose this person. If you have a disagreement with them in the future, if you have problems with them, if something happens, please don't lose contact with this person again. This is a very special person. They're helping you on on an emotional level, and they're also helping you on a practical level, and they also understand you. This is one of these people in the Death card that you want to take with you. Please take this person with you. The last card you have, your present, is Temperance. So I keep on seeing balance again. This is another card telling me that, you need some balance in your life, same as the Justice card. And yes, again, I'm seeing this person who's helping you to find balance in your life. I'm seeing also they're a really calming person, which is exactly what you need. This person's also helping you to get your passion back again, because I'm looking at this Temperance card. And look at these beautiful, great, big red wings. So this is about this person's finding you to help get your balance back in your life. They're helping you on all different levels, emotionally, practically, everything else, and helping you to balance things out. And then you're going to get your passion back again, because for a while you really lost this passion. You lost passion for a lot of things. And this person is helping you to find your passion again. They might have already done this. They might be doing this at this time. This is in your present. So either they've already done this for you and you've gotten your passion back now at this time, or they're going to help you to get your passion back and your energy. If they haven't yet, you are going to find this again. You're going to lose this kind of really down, really kind of disassociated feeling. So yes, the first card you have, your future, is the Four of Cups. So I'm seeing someone really feeling a little bit stressed about connecting with you. This is someone who wants to connect with you, and they've been wanting to connect with you. they've been wanting to connect with you, I'm trying to say. They've been wanting to connect with you for a long, long time. I'm seeing this is probably a love situation, and I'm seeing that this person could have had a rocky past with you as well. A lot of people have had a rocky past with you. I'm seeing a situation between you where they could have actually really hurt you. They could have made you feel really exposed, really vulnerable, actually. Now, this is a feeling, that feeling vulnerable and exposed is a feeling that nobody likes to have. Nobody likes feeling like that. But it's especially bad for an Aries to feel like that. It feels really extra super bad if you're an Aries, because, you know, your pride is very, very important to you. And it's important to you, but it's hurt easily. It's easily dented. It's easily hurt. And when it's hurt, it's really hurt. You really, really feel it. A lot of people don't see this. They don't see that you can be very vulnerable, very hurt very easily, and you really don't like it. You try to avoid that. But what I'm seeing is this person could be trying to come back. They might try to apologize to you again. They might try to make things up to you in some way. Yes, what I'm seeing in this card is your automatic response is probably going to be to refuse this person. You're going to say no to this person. And, you know, just like the man on this card. But in time, I'm seeing that you might actually come around to talking to this person. So if this resonates, you're probably thinking, no, I won't. I'm never going to speak to this person ever again. They're terrible. I'm not going to speak to them. But I am seeing that you probably are. You probably are going to speak to this person, and it is going to happen gradually. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have, your future, is the Queen of Swords. So yes, again, initially when this person comes to contact you, they come to talk to you, you are going to be protecting yourself very, very closely with this sword, like the woman in this card, like the Queen in this card. They might not have realized how much they actually really affected you with what happened even now. Yes, even now they might not realize how serious this is. So you're going to be thinking very, very carefully for a long, long time whether this person is going to be able to say enough to you. It's going to be like, are they going to say enough to kind of let me even want to speak to them? Let's see what they have to say. It's going to be like that. So I'm seeing at the beginning what they have to say probably won't be enough at all for you to even want to speak to them. But I just keep on seeing that you are eventually going to connect with them again. So I'm seeing that probably what's going to happen is you'll say, no, I don't want to talk to you, go away, I don't want to speak to you ever again. And eventually they're going to come back and they are going to speak to you. They might be saying something like, oh, can I ask you a question just about something completely different? And you might say, okay, what do you want? And you'll answer the question. And then that might lead to another little conversation. So it's going to happen very slowly, very gradually, until eventually you are actually full on speaking to this person again. That's what I'm seeing. Don't be angry with me. I know you're saying, no, I'm never going to speak to them again. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have, your future, is the Three of Swords. Yes. So you might even totally reject them initially. When they come back, you might even block them. You might have already blocked them. I'm actually seeing this person feeling really hurt, actually, by you kind of rejecting them initially. They might even be crying. There might be tears around this, with this rain coming down on this card. There was a lot of hurt. They hurt you, you hurt them as well. You really did. Now, you might be saying as an Aries, no, I was the most hurt. They were hurt as well. They were. So I am seeing that it is going to take a long, long time. That's what I was seeing before. But eventually you are going to connect with this person again. I keep on seeing that. Please don't be angry. This is what I'm seeing. You are going to connect with them eventually again. So